Welcome, welcome, welcome to a live webinar with biddings. It's a PPC automation software, and biddings is represented by Max Hoffman. Hello, Max.
Hello, good evening.
So, can you shortly tell us what is biddings and how do you help Amazon sellers?
Sure. So everybody who's selling on Amazon know that you have the possibility to advertise your products, and everybody who advertises products knows that this is really time consuming, and if not done properly, it costs a lot of money and a lot of time. So what we at biddings developed is a web application where we fully automate your advertising on Amazon. So from the keyword research to the campaign creation to the campaign optimization, you can get everything you need for Amazon PPC within biddings.
All right, and today you want to present what changes have been done by Amazon, right, in 2018 in this space.
Correct. Absolutely. Especially during the last month or during the last weeks, there were a couple of changes, and some smaller ones, some bigger ones, which going to really change the game for the sellers on Amazon. Some possibilities were out there already for vendors, but like not everybody has created a Vendor Express account. So this is going to be really, really interesting because everybody is set to zero and everybody has to start from scratch now. And who's getting in the race first will have big advantage in future.
Perfect. So let's jump into the overview of the changes this year.
Sure.
And while Max is sharing his screen, I will just tell everyone who is on a live call, please, whenever you have questions to Max, feel free to write them in the chat and he will answer them after the call or during the presentation. Depends how related is the question to the presentation. So let's jump in.
So you can see the screen?
Yes, everything is perfect.
Perfect. So Amazon Advertising 2018, what's new for European sellers? My name is Max Hoffman. I'm co-founder of the company biddings. One quote I mostly bring in the beginning is, half the money I spend on advertising is wasted. The trouble is, I don't know which half. That was said by an American industrial in the beginning of the 20th century, where there was like paper advertisement and like offline advertisement, where it was really difficult to measure how your advertisements are going to convert. But nowadays, with all the online advertisement, you can exactly tell which ad is bringing you leads, which ad is going to sell your products, and which is not. And for those who are not selling, you're gonna cut the cost and you're gonna just turn those ads off. Short about me, my background is industrial engineering with focus on automation. That's why I also really like tools that automate a lot of work for you. I studied at Technical University in Darmstadt in Germany. I'm selling myself as an Amazon seller since 2015. And last year we started with biddings. I co-founded that one. It's a software as a service that is going to fully automate your Amazon advertising. So today I would like to talk about Amazon advertising updates in 2018. I'd like to talk about what changed for your structure and what changed for your optimization. So let's just jump in and start with the first one. The first thing that is to mention is Amazon unified all the names. So where in the past they had like different names for all the different products, Amazon is now calling most of them Amazon advertising. So what was beforely, it was called Amazon Marketing Services or Amazon Media Group or AAP. Those are all now Amazon advertising. We also found out the change from headline search ads. Those are called now sponsored brands, but only the Amazon DSP, that's the demand-sided platform, is now called Amazon DSP and not Amazon Advertising Platform anymore. And we got also the same interface look for sellers and vendors. So in the past, vendors had like an overview that was much more old-fashioned than the seller one, but now they are like streamlined and they look exactly the same. So let's start with the first change within advertising. That's automatic targeting control. What is that? Now, in the past, you only had the possibility to turn on an automatic campaign, set a bid for the ad group, and then it was set like for every single search term. And you were not able to work with those or to optimize those search terms because they were only managed by the ad group bid. But what you were able to do was setting negative keywords. Amazon now changed that, and that works for every auto campaign that is newly created. So I think after mid of November 2018. So if the auto campaign was created after mid-November 2018, you now have like targeting types. And that is, the first one is close match. So that is search terms closely related to your product. The second one is loose match, search term loosely related to your product. Substitutes, like view the detail page of products of similars to yours. And complement products, that is showing your ad on detail page of products that complement your product. And for all the different targetings, you can either turn them on or off, and you can also set a bid accordingly to the target. And you can also see the whole performance to the target. And if you see, okay, something is not working that good, you can lower the bid or you can just turn it off. The second one is product attribute targeting. That is super interesting because this one allows you to place your advertisement directly below the bullet points. That was formerly only possible for vendors or for those sellers who created a Vendor Express account and used the product display ads, or so-called PDAs. So within the product detail page, we either gonna appear on below the bullet points or within the wheel below, within the carousel of the other products. So that is a new spot that was not available before. How do you gonna create those campaigns? So the product targeting is within the manual campaign. So if you go to Seller Central, then go to advertising into the campaign manager, then you can select the targeting method you'd like to have. So before it was like automatic and targeting within the first step. And then within the second step, when you chose manual targeting, you can now choose product targeting. So keyword targeting was the old one. Product targeting is the new one. And that is super interesting because it gives you a lot of control where you are going to appear on competitors' product listings. So within the product targeting, you have the possibility to either create product targets that suits to categories. So then your ad will appear, for instance, in the office supplies category, what we do not recommend, but also you can refine those categories and select like for which brands you would like to appear, in which price range your ads should be shown. And what's pretty interesting is you can also select the review star rating. So if you're selling like a high quality product, you don't want to appear on like cheap, shitty products. So you can say, okay, price should be at least $20 and at least like 4 stars. And then your product is going to appear only at competitors listing which have like this setting or which fulfill those requirements. And what is even more interesting is that besides the category, you can also go to target individual products. And that is exactly what most of the vendors and sellers with Vendor Express did in the past. They chose the ASINs they would like to appear on. And over here, you can like find suggested products where you should appear. You can search Amazon, or you can just enter a list of ASINs. And that is extremely useful because in the auto campaigns, you will find within your search term report the ASINs. Those start like with BO. And those were not, you were not able to target those in the past. They just appeared, they performed pretty good, pretty bad, but you didn't have any chance because you weren't able to target ASINs. And you are still not able to set those as negative within the auto campaigns. So this gives a huge advantage to precisely control where your ad is going to appear. You can also set what was not possible before. You can exclude brands. So For those brands, your ads will not appear. And what you can also do is the second point, exclude products. So you can also say, okay, for this and that product, perhaps if you want to target a competitor, then you can say all your own ASINs, they should be not used. So what we know at negative keywords for the keyword targeting is now negative brands or negative products for the product targeting. And when you create those, you see them in the preview. You have also suggested bid for the category, for the product, and you can apply those. You can set individual bids, and later on within your campaign manager, those will appear as category is equal to quote office supplies. So over here we have the category, and the ASIN targeting is ASIN is equal to BOO. So that is pretty smart how Amazon chose to set this up, because also for tool developers, this is exactly the same like a keyword, and we can exactly manage it as well like a keyword. Only have to start with ASIN is equal to or category is equal to, and you can also change the bits. So when we compare it with the product display ads, which Wendler said like before, there are some negative points. So compared with those, you can't choose creative, so small text. You cannot upload your own logo or an additional photos, and it's available for sellers. So when you have the negative points, rather for the vendors, available for sellers is negative, because it will increase competition and it will increase prices as more people are joining and using the platform. But on the other hand, product display ads, they were not able to be controlled through the API. There were no bulk files you were able to download or to upload. So they were really difficult. And also you were not able to see ASIN's performance. So that's the second point. You were only able to see the performance of the whole campaign. And that is a pity, because you wanted to have like valid data, you had to create one product display ad for every single ASIN. And now with the new product targeting feature, you can see all the ASIN and how they are performing. What's positive, they are now available for sellers. And what's positive as well is you can choose negative ASINs and negative brands. Those options were not available for product display ads. So I think that feature is going to be really interesting in the future. And from our experience now, the performance for now is super good. So they get really a high return on investment. So what's not, the next topic is dynamic bids. That's not rolled out yet fully, but we got some beta shots. Like in the past, we were used to the Bid Plus model. So Amazon is going to replace the Bid Plus model. And instead of the Bid Plus, we have now 3 options for the bidding strategy. So either we can use the dynamic bids. That's like the first one over here. First one, this is what the current campaign settings is using. So every campaign that is started before October 2018 is going to use this one. You can choose to go for higher dynamic bids, then Amazon is going to increase the bid up to 100%. So with Bid Plus, it was only 50%, but now it's like 100% when it's likely to convert as a sale. But from our point of view, that is super difficult, because you are not able to control this. So even if you calculated your maximum CPC and you set this, then Amazon can like double the price you're willing to pay. So you have to take care to set the bid low enough that it does not exceed your limit. Or you can also use the fixed bid that will exactly try to pay for the keyword with that bid, what you said, and they won't change it. So in one of the last feature Amazon announced is product portfolios. So what is product portfolios? Within advertising. Now you see within the campaign browser, when you are in all campaigns, on the left-hand side, you have like a new column which says like product portfolios. And what is product portfolio? Product portfolio is like a folder for campaigns. So it is easy for you now to create logical groups. Like for instance, if you have a couple of brands on Amazon, you can like having a private label seller, a couple of brands, then you can put like all products from one brand into one logical group. Or you can also say that if you have a specific category, then you can put all campaigns for this category into a logical group. You can also set a budget, like I'll come to that within a few slides, which is like a cap. So all the campaigns together won't exceed that budget. And you can also like easily track performance and how all the campaigns you selected, it's like a filter, then are going to perform. What is a pity is that you can only add one campaign to one portfolio. So one campaign cannot appear in two portfolios. So it's really one folder logic and not a tagging logic where you could use brand, category, and then even a product when you have like auto campaign, product targeting campaign, broad campaign, exact campaign, and so on. So how to create one? You just click on create portfolio, and then you have the possibility to use the budget cap when you go to modify portfolio and set like an amount you would like to spend over the next couple of days. You have to say like what is the period for the budget to be spent for Amazon. So are there any questions to the general changes?
Someone, Owen, was asking, did you say that you would input your own brand into the negative brand list?
That depends. Like if you are going to spread your campaigns for generic branded competitor, so you have like a really advanced strategy, then you can think of putting your brand into the negative when you start to try to attack competitors' listing, for instance.
And Murat is wanting to clarify, these changes you presented, they are not active yet, right? He's asking.
Well, it depends. So those features are in beta phase currently, and they're rolling out one to another day. So for us currently within Germany, we have all features live for now without the dynamic bids. So portfolios, product targeting, and the new automatic targeting control, those are already live, and you can go just right away to Seller Central advertising, and then you might find those options. But like I said, in the US, they were already available a couple of weeks ago. Amazon is in a beta phase, and they have the try and error approach. So as soon as everything works, they will roll it out further if you can't see it for now.
Actually, can you switch off the screen sharing so that we see your face? And sure. Because we have more questions. Sasha is asking, what about bidding? I didn't see these changes yet. So yeah, they are rolling out, right?
Yes, that's correct. So the dynamic bids, that was just a preview of how it's going to look like. For us, we don't have access to the dynamic bidding for now, but for all the other changes, we have already access.
And Todd says, do you foresee more and more advanced options rolling out for 2019?
I think a lot of features rolled out already now at the end of 2018, and Amazon will probably going to have to implement that into the API and roll out that to all the marketplaces. But as soon as they are finished with this, they will continue developing Amazon advertising further and further. And when you compare Amazon advertising with Facebook or with Google, there are still so many options missing. So Amazon will roll out more features in 2019, and it will getting more complicated.
And Mark wants to know, do you know if Amazon will spread your spend across the period you specify for the portfolio?
Correct. So that is rather a cap. So if you say like, I'd like to spend up to $300 within the next 3 weeks. Now we have until Christmas 2 weeks. I can say, okay, up to $500, and then Amazon is going to spread this budget, but it will not, even if you set like the daily budget and the month budget like to 1,000, it will not exceed this 500, which is set within the portfolio.
All right, perfect. These are all the questions which we got for the first part of the presentation. So I think we can continue with the...
Then let's jump into the second part. So...
Meanwhile, Owen says, thank you, Max. Very informative session.
Oh, thank you. Happy to hear that. So can you see the screen again?
Yes.
Perfect. Then what changes for your structure? That is really interesting because now it comes to you. So within the past, we told our clients and we fulfill the strategy that for each product, for each ASIN, you should have at least one automatic campaign and one manual campaign. And within the auto campaign, that if you would like to use the new features, they have to be recreated for the automatic targeting control. So you can use the same bid, you can use the same negative keywords you found before, but if you want to use the new targeting, you have to recreate this auto campaign. And for the manual, in the past, we recommended at least 2 ad groups. So this is broad ad group and exact ad group. So the different match types, broad or exact, that are the keywords. And for the search term, for the different match types, you'll have different search terms. Whereas for exact keywords, you will only have probably 1 or 2 search terms. For broad, you might have 10 search terms that fit to your keyword. So Amazon will extend the keywords over there. And now what's new is for the manual, you'll have the ASIN. So this is like the product targeting feature. So you have to have a third ad group, a third manual ad group that has the ASINs in it. And now also you have to take care about the negative keywords. So in the past, it was like negative exact, negative phrase within the auto campaign. So if you use negative phrase, you don't have to use negative exact because it's like stronger. However, in the broad campaign, you should set those keywords that appear within the exact campaign as negative exact. So that is to minimize the different exposures. So when you use negatives, you can precisely control where to bid which amount. And it also shows that in the past, your product...
We don't hear you anymore.
How the client finds to that competitor's listing were not set as negative. So we recommend to not set all keywords from your manual ad groups as negative within the auto campaign, but only if they appear as bad or good search term within the auto campaign. Okay. And what's new is now the ASIN and the negative ASIN part. So also, like I said in the beginning, within the auto campaign or within the auto ad group, you will have a search term report that will include many ASINs starting with BO. And those ASIN which are performing good, you can increase those and add those to the ASINs. And which are performing bad, you can negate those over here. And this is like the third, this is like the third manual campaign. And if you want to stretch this even further, like if you have products that are selling a lot, let's say 1,000, 2,000 times a month, then you can think about differentiation. So again, split this for ad group structure up into generic, protect, and attack. And within the new auto targeting campaign feature, we now also have the possibility to turn that on, like for complementary products or for surrogates, for instance. And also for the ASINs, we could divide those, and then we could choose like for the campaign with a focus on attack, I've got a budget of $1,000 per month. But if that is like if Amazon used that, then I'll turn it off because I just wanted to annoy some of my competitors. So is this structure clear, or are there any questions regarding this structure?
Yes.
You can also split the manual ad groups into different campaigns. So I now only used one manual campaign, but you can also use like 3 manual campaigns. That is always useful if you have like budget registrations, because the daily budget is only to be set at campaign level. And as soon as one ad group like got all the spend for the day, or got so many clicks that the budget is used, all other ad groups, all other keywords are stopped until midnight, until the next day, until they get new budget. And that is super annoying, especially if you are bidding a little bit lower within the broad campaign just to research some new keywords and search terms. Then those campaigns are not running anymore. And this is also like annoying because especially during the day, more and more competitors will run out of budget. And so in the evening time, in the prime time where most of the sales are happening, you will not have any budget anymore. So you are not part of the game anymore. And in this time, then there are less sellers advertising, and this will reduce cost per click.
Perfect.
So are there any questions regarding the structure?
No. What you have mentioned, we have no questions. Michael is saying some great ideas here for expanding awareness of my brand. Actually, in the past, we had a question from Ronald, who, by the way, said that, Max, you did a great job with biddings. So he was asking question, how to structure PPC by name to understand which PPC is doing what. So he's more asking for advice how to structure PPC by name so that you later understand which PPC is doing what. Can you suggest something?
So can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You cannot hear us? Can you hear us? Oh, are you there, Max?
Yes.
Can you hear us? Can you hear me? Everything is okay?
Yes. Can you hear me?
You look lost. I can hear you.
Okay, now again.
You are back, right?
Yes.
So I have to tell all the compliments once more. So Michael is saying some great ideas here for expanding awareness of my brand. Cheers. And Ronald, he in the past said in the comments that, Max, you did a great job with biddings. And he is asking a question, how should he structure PPC by name to understand which PPC is doing what?
Well, so what our recommendation is over here to structure your PPC campaigns by product. And within your name, you should always have the ASIN. So when you say you have like calculated your target for this product, you can then set also like a target ACOS of, for instance, 20%. And if you want to structure your campaigns by the campaign names, you can also just add this within brackets in the campaign name, and it is clear which campaign or which product has like which target.
All right. And another question by another Michael. Should I delete my old auto campaigns?
Well, we do not recommend to archive those, because as soon as they are archived, you cannot access them anymore and you cannot do any changes. So what we recommend is like pause those and add like a notifier for you, like old auto campaign stopped or something like this within the name. and then just restart another one with the same settings, with the same negative keywords, everything the same. Then you can use the new features.
All right. No more questions for now.
Okay, then let's jump into the third part.
Okay, let's do the third part. And by the way, everyone who is watching now, Max presentation, and if you want to meet Max live, you're welcome to come to European Seller Conference in Prague in March 28, 29, 2019. And Max will be also giving presentation about his findings on PPC, some new insights. So yeah, and
Exactly.
the website for this event is europeansellerconference.com.
Yeah,
So let's continue.
looking forward. It's going to be a great event.
Yeah, I hope
So let's come to the third part. So what changes for your optimization? How should you optimize your PPC campaigns in future? So within the past, we said, okay, there are mainly 5 phases of optimization. So the first one is relevancy. Relevancy is probably the point that annoys most of the sellers, and that is for one question: my keyword is not getting any impressions. So when you look at Facebook groups, for instance, 90% of the questions are my keywords are not getting any impressions. So when you have this issue, you are within the first part of optimization. Then you have a relevancy problem. Within the relevancy, you can check first: are you the buy box owner? Is your price for the bid, is your bid price high enough? So are there more competitors? Do you have to increase your bid? Is the keyword relevant? That is one of the most important. So the keyword has to be within your listing or within the backend search terms, and that Amazon is going to find this. And to just test that for yourself, you can just go to the Amazon search field and enter your ASIN and the search term you'd like to appear. And if you do not appear organically, you won't appear with your ad. So, but as soon as your ad is getting impressions, you're within the second phase. So within the second phase, you should focus on CTR. CTR is the click-through rate, so the amount of clicks divided by the amount of impressions. Over here, you can already identify keywords that will probably succeed in future and those who won't. Within the third phase, then, if the click-through rate is like above an average, which you should go for, you should focus on the conversion rate. So conversion rate actually just means CTR is high enough. So increase the bid to appear at the first or second page. So when you increase the bid, your ad is going to be shown more prominently and on the first or second page, and you'll get more impressions, you'll get more clicks, and you'll probably get more sales. And then as soon as you get sale, you are within the fourth phase where you should focus on ACoS. Then you can really decide, is the ACoS high? Is the ACoS low? Did I hit my target, or do I have to adjust the bid? That is really important to also consider all the phases before, because the ACoS is an event that is happening much too seldomly. So we analyzed a couple of million keywords, and only 10 to 15% of those keywords were able to generate a sale. So most of the keywords did not get any impressions, so they were out in the first step. But as soon as they generated impressions and clicks, most of the keywords still only generated costs, but not any sale. But as soon as you have sale, that's great. You can focus on ACoS. And within the first step, then you can focus on the profit. And with profit over here is meant the overall profit. So the organic and paid sales added together, and also checking how much influence has my paid sales on my organic sales, on my organic listing, on my position, and so on. So that is like the overall. So like I said, like the old one, one really good point is if your ACoS is too high, you can easily calculate the amount you should maximum will paying for in Klik in average. So that's the max cost per click, the max CPC, and that is your price, multiplied with the target acres you'd like to achieve, multiplied with the conversion rate, like CR. And if we use an example over here, if you have like a price of 30 euros, you have target acres of 20% and conversion rate of 10%, those are your real figures. You can easily calculate that 30 times 20% times 10% is 60 cents only. And that is not too much. So probably when many people start the campaigns, they start with a one euro, $1, and that is mostly like already much above the target they would like to achieve. You also have to say that the max CPC is not the bid you set. So that differs from each other. The bid is the amount you are willing to pay, and the CPC is the amount Amazon charges you. And Amazon will never charge you more than you are willing to pay. But never mind, it is a really good way to start with a max CPC. So you're already advanced bidding, so a little bit higher bidding, and still you will not exceed your max CPC. So what is new for the campaign optimization is the product targeting feature with all the ASINs. So like in the slide shown before, you've got now another ad group with ASINs and perhaps categories, but categories we do not recommend because those will have a really high spread, which you cannot control. And for the keyword management, for ASINs, this is now a new part. You have to add like the ASIN after a certain amount of clicks or after a current conversion as ASIN to the product targeting campaign with adjusted bids. So the ASIN is the ASIN you found within your normal auto campaign, those ASINs which appear within your search term report. And those then should be added within the product targeting campaign with like an increased bid or decreased bid depending on how the ASIN was performing. ASINs still cannot be added as negative ASINs within the auto campaign, but if you'd like to negate those over there, you can find strong characteristics like the brand name. But you have to take care, especially with a negative phrase. If the brand is not only selling one product, you will also like negate all the others. So the brand might help, but perhaps like the brand and the product name or whatsoever, something like this, that's going to help to prevent your ad from showing up within the competitors' listings. And we're often asked, like, what is good CTR, what is good click-through rate, or what is a good conversion rate? And what we can say, what is like valid for Europe, you got a couple of thousand profiles from Europe. There's like the average a CTR of higher than 0.4%. 0.4%. So there's like 4 clicks for 1,000 impressions. You have to think about it. This is like average or above average. For the conversion rate, it's more than 8%. And also for the first one, for the click-through rate, now some people who ask, I do not get any clicks. I got already 150 impressions or whatsoever. Then you can say, okay, with the CTR of 0.4%, it is like 4 clicks per 1,000 impressions, so 1 click per 250 impressions. So even if you did not get any clicks within the first 250 impressions, that's still average. So only if this is going to be succeed, or if you have like 1,000 impressions and less than 4 clicks, then you will be below average. And for the conversion rate, or for the both factors, those are of course influential, and that's probably most influentially is the picture, like the main picture you add for your Amazon listing. It's the title, it's the price, it's your shipping option if you are of a FBA, if you are offering fulfillment by Amazon, or if you have any discounts like coupons or whatsoever. Those are only also highlighted within the search result page overview, where you can see all the products, but also when you click on one product and when you go to the product detail page. So if there are there any questions regarding the optimization?
Yes, there are. So there was one question: what is the good average CTR, which you just answered? And then Murat is asking, my paid CR is 3%, which is much lower than the general CR. How can I increase the paid CR?
So that depends. Like the average selling price, for instance, is around 30 euros in our system. So for instance, if you are selling high priced products which cost like 130 or 230 euros, then also the conversion rate will be much lower. And like shown in the picture before, if you like to increase the conversion rate, change the picture, change the title, change the price, work with coupons, check if your rating is good enough. If you got like 4 stars or more, then it's much more likely that your conversion rate will increase. And also, if you say, okay, you only have 3%, you can check, for instance, what did customers buy after they viewed your product, or also from your automatic campaigns, where are you appearing at which sites? Perhaps you can find some ideas from those listings.
Yeah, Murat is clarifying that his products are expensive, about 100 euros.
Then for sure, I mean, you probably will have much less conversion rate, but you also have a much bigger budget to spend for each sale you are going to make.
All right, and Michael was asking, so there is no chance to put ASIN into the negative search terms, right?
No, Amazon, you can do that, but it does not do anything. So when they launched that, uh, it was possible to also add them as negative, but nowadays it is not working.
And Dave wants to know a little bit different kind of question. Is it worth going for a very high ACOS for launching my products?
Yes, so either you can go on very high acres, let's say like 100 or 200, or what we, for instance, at biddings do, we have an automation where you can set your monthly budget, and then the system is going to try to spend that budget and will increase all the keyword bids until this budget is spent. So you can think about launching a new product, have a budget of like 500 or 1,000 euros, and then you just spend those on the first month, don't care about acres, and have like impressions, clicks, and sales as the figure to measure your success. And then like within the second month, you can set a lower target acres, and you can go like for profitability.
Mm-hmm. Michael wants to know, so you said that the title is very important for conversion rate. So his question is, if I have a parent with different colors, should I use different titles for each child and Amazon will recognize more relevant keywords for the product?
For sure. So even Amazon does not say that they are going to weight the different positions like title, bullet points, description differently. They are probably weighted differently. And for each child variation, you should use different titles and also include like the color within the title. So when you go for the Amazon syntax, so what they recommend, the brand color or the product color is one part of the title and should be added over there to increase relevancy.
Mm-hmm. And no, is it okay to add competitors' brand names into the backend search terms and PPC keywords?
So you have to differentiate. For the sponsored product, it's absolutely okay. So over there, it is okay because the question is, um, do you get an advantage which is not fair by adding those? And for the ad, I can tell you, um, you can do this because sponsored is added to the listing. So it is clear that this is an advertisement and you can start advertising on competitors' brand names. What you should not do is add those competitive brand names within your backend search terms, because then this is like kind of illegal, and the competition could inform their lawyers, and then they could write you a nice letter where they inform you that you have to get those out, or you have to be fined. You get to be fined.
And we have one more question. Tim from Private Label Masters. Hello, Tim. He says, if I have 5 products and I want to target another ASIN with all of them, will Amazon allow me to take up the entire sponsored products related to section on the competitor ASIN?
You have the option that you can search for instance, for the competitor brand or something like this, and then you have the option to add all or select all, and then you can add like multiple ASINs at once. So this is possible.
All right, we have no more questions at the moment. Do you still
Okay.
have slides?
Yes, I got like 2 bonuses.
Cool.
So the first bonus is just one one small one. Amazon is providing so-called recommended bid, suggested bid. And this is like for each keyword within an ad group and also for different match types. And we are asking ourselves like to increase the speed when you're launching a product, or also to find the best bid for your keyword. How much does this tell you about? So what's the influence of suggested bid? And Amazon is dividing suggested bid into 3 parts. So they will show you the lowest suggested, the suggested, and the upper suggested. So the lower and the upper suggested are like shown with a dash, and the suggested one is the one that is going to be used when you're going to click apply. And we were interested in how much information give those bids or those recommended, those suggested bids to the sales, and checked within our system and found out that 7% of the sales are going to happen with a bid that is lower than the lowest suggested. 35% of the sales are going to happen within the suggested area, but 58% of the sales are going to happen with the bid that is higher than the upper suggested. And that already tells you a lot. So when you calculate your max CPC and the max CPC is higher than the upper suggested, you definitely should go for the max CPC, because that's the part, or that's the area where you will probably make most of the sales. And the second bonus we got is the source tag for Amazon stores. So this is not directly for Amazon advertising, but for instance, if you are using Facebook advertising, and also for launching your products or for boosting your products, especially now within the holiday season, we have one single possibility where we are able to track traffic we send to Amazon. Normally, we cannot do this. And also, if you use like services like Bitly or other ones to shorten our links with an affiliate tag, those services might use their own affiliate tags, and then the whole measurement probably is going to be messed up. So what's source tags for Amazon stores? When you have a brand registered, so you are able to go for sponsored brands, and you are able to create an Amazon store. Then you have the possibility, if you go to Seller Central, to Storefront Manage Stores, then go to Edit Stores and Insights, to the overview, you can create a so-called source tag. So this is the source tag, and you just name it like Facebook, for instance. And then for your Facebook advertisements, you will have to use this link, which is shown over here. And when you use this link, you will have the whole statistics within Amazon. So you see how many people clicked on the link, how many people viewed your product detail pages, how many products were sold with this campaign. So this is not possible right away. There are like limitations. So you have to have at least 100 clicks from the external traffic. But after 100 clicks or 100 impressions, I'm not sure about here, you will have all the store KPIs, and you can see how many sales in Amazon have been converted as a sale. And finally, for Amazon advertising, we have to say that Amazon advertising is like the organic listing. So Amazon advertisements are only as good as the underlying listings because they share the same main image, they share the same ad creative, the title, they share the same price. You can't increase the price for a product which is advertised, and for the one that is not, lower the price. So you really have to make sure that you have enough reviews, that those are good, and that your products are optimized, because those are the basis for your advertisements. And finally, we have like a third bonus. We have a special offer for all people who are watching. So if anybody is interested in trying out biddings, we have a coupon code that gives you biddings 2 months for free. So the code is European Private Label Summit 18, like everything in capital, but we can also write below in the subscription. And you can use this when booking a plan on biddings-tool.com, and it's valid until the end of the month. And now again, for the bonuses, or if there are any other questions, I'm happy to answer those if there are any.
Yes, Michael wants to know, to clarify about the bonus one. He says, so with this 58% data on the highest bid, on the bid higher than suggested, does it prove that we should use biddings in every campaign we run?
No, not. Well, it probably will increase your profitability, or it will help you to reach the target ACOS you said. But you can also go to Amazon Seller Central and then mark all the keywords on one page and say, okay, I'd like to apply the suggested bid, and within the next step, I'd like to increase the bid by 20%, for instance. Then you can do that also manually, but it just takes a little bit more time and is not too convenient.
All right, we have no more questions, but Dave is saying, has a different question. He says, can you explain what links to send when advertising?
What links to send when advertising? Generally, might he clarify the question?
Yeah, Dave, please clarify. I'm thinking now, maybe he's talking about external traffic. I'm not sure. Okay, so once again, if you have more questions, and probably do you do any kind of private consultations or PPC management for companies?
Well, we actually have a really good support within biddings. So as soon as you registered and you have any questions regarding the tool, those are completely for free. But those people who are within the support also have a couple of years Amazon experience, and they can also tell you really a lot about selling on Amazon, and perhaps share their opinion on one or the other thing. So actually, you do not need to book any consultation. Just find a tool which has a good support, and then probably most of the questions can be answered within free calls.
Murat wants to know, biddings, does it provide only auto and manual campaign management, or it doesn't optimize the product targeting, right?
Well, the product targeting is only available since today. So for the API, so for the application programming interface, where all the tools are working with. So Amazon just released the node for today and provided the developer documentation. We already thought about how to implement it, and already today we started implementing the new features, and those will be coming out within the next few days or weeks.
All right, and Carmen wants to know, do you have a suggestion about how much to increase the bid?
Well, for us, it became clear that you should at least increase 10 cents or like 20%. This is due to, if you say your bid is currently 30 cents and you'll increase like 5%, that is like 1.5 cents. And then probably you have to wait until you have enough data, and then it will increase again and again. So to skip a lot of steps, just increase at least 10% or like 20% or at least 10 cents. Then you can like accelerate the whole optimization process.
All right. So perfect. It's almost 1 hour. And one more time, can you tell what biddings can do for Amazon sellers?
Sure. So Amazon is a web application that is helping and supporting Amazon sellers who are advertising on Amazon. And biddings is covering everything from the keyword research, keyword suggestions, to campaign creation, to campaign optimization. And that's not only for sponsored product ads, but since last week, we do that also for sponsored brands, so formerly known as headline search ads. We can optimize those fully automated based on a target ACOS or a monthly budget. And also all the features you saw tonight or today, depending on where you're watching, those will be implemented within biddings. And the whole process of, for instance, moving the ASINs around, like if ASIN within auto campaign is performing good, we will automatically take this ASIN and put it into a product targeting campaign. And over there, we can precisely control the product and the ASIN and have really influence on the performance. And Amazon advertisement still is quite simple, but it's getting more complicated and complicated. Already now we have like a simple structure of at least 4 ad groups, which kind of messes up if you get like more than 10 or 20 products. Then you got like a bunch of campaigns which you have to control, and it's like super time consuming. And that's where we come in, where we can support you, where we can like help you to automate your Amazon advertising. So we are able to reduce your costs, to increase your sales, and to save you a lot of time.
And in which marketplaces do you work?
So biddings is currently available all over the world. So it does not matter if you are a European seller, like for the summit people who are watching. So we support all the European marketplaces, but also North America with the United States, Canada, and Mexico. And I think in India it is available as well. So everywhere over the world.
All right. And once again, if you use EUPLS 18, I think, EUPLS 18 code on a biddings website, you can get 2 months for free. The offer valid until the end of 2018. And also, if you want to meet Max, come to European Seller Conference.com. It's an in-person event in Prague next year, March 28, 29, 2019. And what you will be sharing there with us?
We're going to share insights from more than 100 million dollars in ad sales, and which we find out with having the bigger picture. Like everybody who's selling on Amazon has like the tunnel option and see in his category and for his products the prices and so on, the measurements. But it's really difficult to get a picture, like a big picture, to see everything. And we're going to share some insights which you only have if you are providing such a service.
Perfect. Some people, they are appreciating your information. They say, thanks, thank you. Lesson was amazing. And thank you from my side, Max, and good luck in your business. Bye-bye.
Thank you for having us. Bye.